It's a great week for weed. The two Super Bowl teams from Washington and Colorado are places where legalized weed is legal. That's the key there. And President Obama this week has caused a little bit of commotion with something that he said about weed. As has been well documented, I smoked pot as a kid and I view it as a bad habit and a vice, not very different from the cigarettes that I smoked as a young person up through a big chunk of my adult life. I don't think it's more dangerous than alcohol. So that last line there, that's the key line there, because I don't think it's much more dangerous than alcohol, actually completely contradicts what is going on the whitehouse.gov website. So this is the National Drug Control Policy's official stance, and again, this is on the official White House website. The administration steadfastly opposes legalization of marijuana and other drugs because legalization would increase the availability and use of illicit drugs and pose significant health and safety risks to all Americans, particularly young people. So on one hand, we have the president saying it's no worse than booze. Then the other hand, the official White House stance is that it's not very good for you. It seems to me that Obama is sort of doing what happened with the gay marriage thing here. Remember, Biden went on Meet the Press, sort of slipped with his support for gay marriage. And I think they're kind of doing the same thing here. It got to the point where everyone's down with legal weed. Obama now kind of slips with something, and now the wave just begins.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Is it that manipulative, or am I smoking something funny?
I mean, honestly, I don't even think it's a slip. I think he's like, this is my second term, light it up. You know, I really think that's what it is. I think he's like, it's really not that serious, guys. Just pass it over here. I mean, you know, I don't think it is worse than alcohol. Alcohol has, you know, medical research done that is more destructive to your body, in my opinion, and it's not because I'm biased, because I may smoke weed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But yeah, I think he's
your
just
opinion and factually based, which I'm pretty sure it is.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and they both go hand in hand because I'm always right. So yeah, but no, I really don't. I think he really is throwing it out there. I think it's refreshing that he's coming with something he actually believes, where he's like, yeah, whatever, it's not that serious, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that Obama used to smoke a lot of weed. I mean, it's well documented that he was smoking plenty of weed when he was in college. So he sort of, is this just, you know, he came around. Like, this is what politicians do. They wait till the numbers are there, and then they're suddenly brave.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to completely imagine the enormity of the dragon's belly that he stands in the center of, and how many influences he will enrage, how many people from pharmaceutical places and, you know, that are connected to the tobacco and alcohol people that are all enormously threatened by this other thing that could just clear the shelves of their products. If it ever went to completely legal and there's packets of it sold, people will go, wait, this doesn't make my dad beat anybody up, and they're nicer, and I'm hornier, and all the things I wanted. Oh, the hell with the rest of these billions of dollars of other items.
Right, on top of the stuff that you don't get the side effects that you get from all the pharmaceutical stuff.
Oh, the
weed, you get the munchies.
Yeah, I think Nestle should invest, you know, like things like that. Like, there needs to be a snack food investment into, in the president's opinion on this, I think.
What it would
Nestle's Munch.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So let me just play.
Instead of Nestle's quick, it's Nestle's semi-slow.
Yeah, exactly. So let me play the cynic here for just a sec. Do you think that at any level, maybe he's using weed as a little bit of a distraction from, say, the Obamacare site not being great still, or the NSA stuff that we're not happy about? That maybe he's like, what can I sort of latch onto that's like a popular thing that'll kind of distract everybody?
I mean, I don't
Such a cynic I am.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think he's getting any popularity points, but I mean, he's getting popularity points from us. I don't think it's distracting, is what I mean. I think that it just is what it is. I like how in the article it's talking about how Obama's talking in circles and he's speaking loosely and he's kind of contradicting himself. I'm like, yeah, because he's high. You know?
It's the weed.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that what's going to be the irony is the thing that so many of the people on the left are so worried about will actually save it. Capitalism will put marijuana on the shelves. Nothing else. The same amount of greed that has attached itself to every other popular item in our history will just go and laser lock onto that and start making that popular now that they know it can be sold. And they will throw tobacco under the bus. They will throw alcohol under the bus. And tobacco and alcohol will go screaming and kicking under that bus, and that's what we're in the midst of now, you know, and their influence on advertisers and news distribution places, they're freaking out. It's the end of their era.
Well, isn't that the irony of this? Shouldn't people on the right, the libertarians who want personal liberty, shouldn't they be backing legalized weed, what you do in your home, to be legal? And shouldn't the people that care about fiscal responsibility, shouldn't they want it? Because there's a huge amount of tax money to be made from this. And yet, for some reason, they're not totally down with it. It seems to be still the progressives and people on the left that are down. What do you make of that?
We're in the era of this. That is the Mac. Remember the Mac with the box, a little sad mouth off to the side? That's the Mac we're at right now. And year after year, that will grow until everything is Mac everywhere. And just, you know, it just seems like a small thing now, but because of the wall of money on the other side of this thin shell, it crack, 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 bam, out it comes. That's it. Yeah. Once the dam breaks and the money flows into this, state by state by state will fall. And the other states that aren't making that money are going to flip out and kick everybody out that doesn't make their state, like the one across the way.
Yeah, and that's why I compare it to gay marriage, because as we've seen, all the things that people say are bad about gay marriage, none of them turn out to be true, and then it turns out to be an economic boom and all that stuff. Last question on this. Do you guys think that it's partly the anti-drug people's fault that it's actually becoming legal, because they looped weed in with coke and meth and heroin? So, yeah, but then people,
cops keeping that off the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they made it seem like everything is equal, and that if you try weed, you're automatically going to try heroin, which is just simply not the case. So in a weird way, they strengthen the hand of the people that wanted to legalize weed.
I mean, I don't see any, like, you know, you've seen that Faces of Meth thing online, you know. Ugh. I definitely haven't seen, like, Faces of Pot. You know, it's just like a bunch of people, like, with, like, a Snickers bar in their mouth, you know? Like, it just doesn't happen. It's like, come on, you can't lump it in.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Do you agree that they basically strengthened the hand by putting all these things together, and they should have had, if they really wanted to keep weed illegal, they should have had a smarter strategy and not lied about what weed does?
To a nation that has a population that almost has entirely done it, to know the difference, and they know when, this one they know when they're being lied to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a big mistake. They're using that 1930s, hey, I must play the piano faster.